get your credits to be as high, your scores to be as high as possible. So some of the things I will recommend is, and they seem obvious, but let's make sure you make all your payments on time. Let's make sure that your credit card balances you keep at 50% or below. 30% or lower is always better, but for sure 50% or less. Let's make sure that you have at least 3 liabilities reporting on a regular basis, because that's what's going to continue to keep a healthy score moving, especially as long as you're making your payments on time. And then I tell people, once you decided you want to buy a home, let's make sure that we don't have your credit card, your credit run too many times. So we're not going to open new accounts. We are not going to co-sign for anyone else, so that we can protect the scores that you worked so hard to get to.
Awesome. So, and then what about the, we have a lot of self-employed right now. Can the self-employed borrowers, could they get approved?
Absolutely. So I get that question asked a lot. A lot of people believe that right now through COVID guidelines, they cannot get a loan if they're self-employed, and that is simply not true. So it means you're gonna just be prepared to submit maybe more documents than you would have in the past, meaning now it's standard for the investors to request a profit and loss to show the income that you're making, because you don't have a pay stub or a W-2, and make sure that you have bank statements to support what's on the profit and loss statement. But other than that, we're closing with self-employed borrowers, so that should not be an issue.
Wonderful. So it is, with such low inventory, it's so important to be prepared before they go out and look for a home. So working with a great lender, getting all your paperwork ready, knowing your credit scores, having everything ready, speaking to a lender. Laura, she can help you if you have some credit issues. She's bilingual, she's local, she answers her phone 24/7, she's great. So what's the best thing they can do to prepare for the loan and even for underwriting? Because underwriting, it always gets a little scary because it goes a little further.
Absolutely. So I think the number one thing is to go through the process. I tell people, let's get you pre-approved. Don't just tell me, hey, I make this much a year and I think this is what my credit score looks like. I'll give you a great idea, but you're certainly not ready to start shopping. The best thing to do is provide all your documents. Let me run your credit. Again, like I said earlier, let's run through the numbers, make sure that you know what your max purchase price looks like. Let's make sure that you're comfortable with the monthly payment. And when we ask you for a bank statement, please don't just give me the first page. Give me all pages to the bank statement. A lot of people will send those to me and they literally will black out all the account numbers, all the addresses. The underwriters will not allow us to send that in. So just give me all your documents. Trust me that we're doing this to make the process easy. By the time you get to escrow, we're not going to be going back and forth looking for documents. It's going to be a much better, simpler process. They expect that we will continue to update or to request updated documents. So if you sent me a bank statement that was from, let's say, November, I'm going to ask you for the most recent. Pay stubs, we're going to need the most recent. And be ready that the investors are going to continue to verify employment until the date we close. As long as somebody's willing to call to confirm that, yep, you still work there, you're good to go. We can close less than 30 days. You're going to become a homeowner and Ella's going to hand you the keys. That's all it's going to take.
Yep. So that leads us into Lynette. So once we find your home, once we get your loan pre-approved, we go out, we find the most perfect dream home, and we beat every offer because you were prepared with not just a pre-qualification, but you actually had a pre-approval from a direct lender. It makes a huge difference. I found too, having a good relationship with different agents and lenders and networking helps great also. So once the buyers open escrow, Then we get to Lynette at Mission, and she is also here in Fullerton. I've known her for so many years. I love her to pieces. She always dots every I, crosses every T. She is the best escrow officer out there. I mean, I highly recommend her. So,
So
for Lynette, let us, for those who don't know what escrow is, could you tell us a little bit about escrow and what you do?
Escrow is, hi, I'm Lynette. I'm with Mission Escrow in Fullerton. And just a little bit of my background. I've been doing this now for 34 years. But loving every minute of it. So escrow basically is a neutral third party, and we represent everybody. So if you imagine like a big house and you put your sellers in there, you put your agents and your lender and your appraiser and the title company and all these things in one great big house, that's my house. So I represent absolutely everybody in the transaction. I'm neutral. So if there's an instruction that comes across from one party, then I have to make sure the other party agrees to it, and we do that through an escrow instruction. But let me back up a little bit. That's escrow. So it's basically we take in all the money, we disperse out all the money, we take in all the paperwork, we disperse out all the paperwork, and you get this nice big paper flow at the very end. As far as the opening of a transaction, so once you get done with your lender and getting the pre-approval and you find the house of your dreams, now it's time to open an escrow. So once that comes into me, you're going to be all signing a purchase contract and everything else with Ella and agreeing to all the terms. That comes into me as your escrow holder. At that point, we're going to reach out to you directly. We don't do this through the agents anymore. We send you our wiring instructions. So be prepared when you sign that purchase contract, you're going to need to come up with that initial down payment or initial deposit. It's not all your money yet. It's just a small amount that actually says that, hey, I'm buying this house. So we'll send out escrow instructions to you, or wiring instructions. And at that point, you will initial deposit into escrow. And that's where we start. Once we do that, we send you escrow instructions, and I'm going to see if Ella wants to ask any questions before I get to that part.
No, continue.
Am I good? Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
So now we have this really cool thing called Docusign, which we do approve Docusign. And we are able to send out our instructions, all of our forms, all of our packets to our buyers through Docusign, which makes it super simple because we can get stuff back in really quick. One thing I do suggest when you are getting ready to purchase a home, maybe open up an email address that has only to do with the purchase of your home. So nice. You open up that email with Yahoo. I suggest Yahoo. Sometimes Gmail is a little dicey sometimes, but everything that comes into that email will have to do with the purchase of your home. You don't have to worry about missing an email. You don't have to worry about getting spammed, all that other stuff. This just secludes it to the transaction. And I suggest that to people because it does make it a lot cleaner. You know who you're dealing with. You're only getting emails from your agent, your escrow, your title company, and your lender. And it keeps you very, very secure. So that's a big suggestion I have to any first-time home buyer. Just don't use it for anything else. Don't send your monthly subscription to whatever you order through Amazon there. Just that way you don't get the junk. You don't miss anything, which is great. So we are able to send instructions through Docusign. Once we get everything back from you, the important aspects you need to search for after you've found your lender is who's going to handle your property insurance. So if you State Farm or AAA or whoever you use at that point, contact them first and see if they own, they happen to have some type of a package for your property insurance. If you've got all your cars through them, then sometimes they'll give you a discount on your insurance. Make sure you have that set up. We also ask you for your property vesting, which we go through with you in detail. We can't tell you how to hold title to a property, but there is a little bit of a a thing there. So we need to know if you're married, unmarried, single, if, you know, however you want to hold title to the property. So these are all included in these forms. So once you complete everything and get it back to us, then we can proceed with what your lender's asking for in order to get your loan processed and ready for closing.
And escrow is usually about 30 days, 45?
30 days.
With
30
COVID
days.
Has it been longer?
With COVID, I think we're past the hump on the COVID, I hope. But 30 days, sometimes it does go over. We don't like that. I really strive to make sure we close on time. So I'm constantly working, my assistant and I constantly work with your lender. We're asking what they need from us. But the more complete the paperwork is coming into us and the more information we have right off the bat, the sooner we can provide it to the lender and get all the information over to them that they need.
Yeah, and most people sign their escrow docs virtual now, but you do offer, you've had where some want to come in and you
Absolutely.
do that, you know, where they want them
Absolutely.
explained, or so you're really good about that
Yes.
everything's safe. And it's
Yeah.
funny because our favorite 3 words, escrow is closed.
Yes.
It's always our favorite 3 words of the day.
Yes.
So, okay. So then that brings us to Cindy, who runs title. She does title insurance. And Cindy is at Lawyers Title here in Orange County, and she is excellent. So why don't I introduce Cindy, and you tell us a little bit yourself and what title insurance does, and how that works through the home buying process.
Thank you, Ella. I'm Cindy Fitzpatrick. I'm with Lawyers Title. And Ella asked me to explain a little bit about title insurance. All I can say is it's home ownership insurance. And unlike any of your other insurance premium, it's paid one time for the life of your ownership. So why do we need title insurance? Even the best searches that we do sometimes don't uncover things that are pertinent to the property, and it insures you against those. So we like to call them liens or judgments. And to give you an idea of what that means, it's like a flaw on the property that needs to be insured against and needs to be remediated before you close. And if it isn't, then that's why your insurance kicks in. So the basic judgments are federal tax liens, state tax liens, child support liens, mechanics liens, money judgment liens, where someone has had some type of lawsuit against them possibly, and there's been a court order to pay a certain amount of money. That's your typical judgment lien. Mechanics liens, lis pendens. So lis pendens tells us that there's some type of legal action pending on your property, and we can't close until we can clear that as well. So we're here to insure your American dream, and I'm always available for questions regarding the title search or things that come up that you're not sure what it means or how we're going to be able to clear.
Wonderful. So one big topic for title has been Proposition 19 in California. Could you just give us a quick, brief summary of what Prop 19 is?
So Prop 19 has many factors to it, and we always recommend when you're dealing with taxes that you check with your CPA first. But basically, it allows you, like Prop 60, to transfer your tax base to another property that you're purchasing. Before, you could only do that one time. Now you can do it up to 3 times. And there are some qualifications. It's principal residence only. It's people 55 years old and older. And now you don't have to transfer equal or lesser. You can actually take your tax base and move it to a property where you're moving up your sales price. But how that works is you can transfer the base. If you're selling for 800 and buying for $1 million, 800 to 800 is equal tax base, and then there's an adjustment for the raise in the price. And that's in a nutshell what it means, but there are a lot of components to it. So it's good to check with your CPA before you get into a transaction to make sure you qualify.
Wonderful. So all great information from these wonderful ladies. I just spent 2 days at a huge real estate conference, and you know, one of the things that was said was how 2021 is just going to be one of the best years to buy. The interest rates are still really, really low. Looks like a little bit more housing inventory is coming up. We're in that prime selling season. Yes, the real estate market is bananas, but if you do what these ladies advise and you prepare and you have a good agent with you know, networks that has good relationships, that you'll get your offer accepted. Just be a little bit patient. It's still a huge bidding war out there, but you know, it's still a great time to sell. It's still a great time to buy. It's real estate. It just doesn't sleep. It's always bananas, especially last year and this year. But I think it looks like going into 2021, you know, we're going to make that American dream come true. So I am going to send everybody the links for all their information. And do you ladies have any last comments?
I'll make a quick comment. I just wanted to say thank you for putting this together. And I don't know if you had a chance to also tell us a little bit about you, but you might want to do that. So I think that the link is complete with your info and how amazing you are, how long you've been doing this, and why people should definitely choose you to work with.
That's why Laura's a lender, because she's awesome.
Thank you. So I've been doing this for about 10 years now. I just moved over to eXp Realty. It's still out of Fullerton, California. I love selling and helping clients get into their dream home. I literally cry giving keys, or you know, when I get to hand over the keys to my clients. I will work 24/7. I'll answer my phone anytime for you. So don't be afraid. Call me. I've lived in Fullerton for over 50 years. So yeah. So I know the area really well. I know Orange County. I'm about 5 minutes from Disneyland. I'm in a Tom Ferry network, which is a real estate network, XP. So, you know, we have a lot of listings that we hear about that aren't even on the market yet, which is great. But I can't tell you, I love California. I've been traveling a lot lately, seeing other places, and our weather is amazing.
Can't beat it.
But yeah, so if you guys need help, give me a call. I'm here. Text me, email me, Facebook, whatever. I'm always ready to help and serve and do anything to get you guys in your dream houses, or even to sell them. Again, it's a really great time in real estate. I'm really excited about 2021.
Me too.
Yeah. So woo!
Yay!
Yay!
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, guys. See ya.